This is Romo Dunze, and you're listening to the Ballsville Podcast.
Thank you so much.
And now, your host of the Ballsville Podcast, Scott Fitzgerald.
All right. I love that intro. Welcome in, Ballsville gamers, to another episode of the Ballsville Podcast. I'm your host, Scott Fitzgerald, a.k.a. Loots for Sale on Sleeper. This episode is brought to you by the BallsvilleGame.com. Our games combine fantasy football and poker, which create big payouts with great odds. I am super excited today. We got the big game coming up. We got a lot on our plate today. We got Dynasty expansion coming up. We got mini leagues drafting on Super Bowl Sunday. We got an update on the Ballsville playoff game. We have a journalist amongst us. He'll be popping in a little bit later, going over his Ballsville handbook. That'll be very exciting. And then we got some predictions from the best of the best in here on the big game. So I'm going to bring in my panel, my co-host, Bills Mafia. He goes by Sklem on Sleeper. What is up, Sean?
Not much, buddy. How you doing?
Good. I want to say hi to Jerry in the chat. I see Jimmy just popped in. Now I'm going to go down to our producer. She's from Cali. She crushes Justin Herbert. She is Sarah M21. What is up, Sarah?
Unmute your mic, Sarah.
Unmute. Mute. You're unmuted.
Sorry, I thought you unmuted me.
I tried. You wouldn't let me.
My bad. It's good to be back. Last week I was at the Fire Aid concert in LA, all donations for the fires down there. So that was really, really cool little trip. So I'm glad to be back though. And love seeing all you guys.
And the man from the wild frontier, way up in Alaska. He's blinding me with that jersey. I don't know why he's wearing that jersey today.
What's
but
that?
He goes by Zubakis. He is Jeff. What is up?
Hey, I'm just saying, history is about to be made, y'all. History is about to be made. Get on the bandwagon.
Sorry, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Come be on the right side of history with the rest of us. Come on.
The rest of him and the Swifty Swifts.
Yeah, right. The only reason they're three-peating is because Travis Kelce started dating Taylor Swift.
So, what's up, Short Stack? Short Stack's in the chat. So welcome on in, along with Alejandro Hernandez. So let's get to it. Big, exciting news. Our website is doing tremendous. We are expanding our dynasty leagues. Right now, we have 6 that are opened up right now. We have the Light Fury, which is the Derby's already complete, and they are getting ready to draft.
I'm sorry, Scott. I got to do something real quick. So much better. Oh man.
Wow. See, okay.
Wow. Oh
So
man,
that-
Zub, you are the lone rider right now. Not until Connor gets here.
So like I said, these are the heroes of Dynasty. We got the Light Fury. The Derby's completed. They're getting ready to draft. The Gandalf, which I'm in, everything's paid up. We're going to do a Derby draft soon, but that particular draft, we would like to wait until after the March 12th free agency is complete. I don't know. I like a lot of information when I'm drafting a team, especially Dynasty, where I'm going to keep for years and years and years. So I want as much.
We should start a poll right
possible
now on Dynasty drafting since we're doing the beginning of the pod. Like just throughout the pod, tell us what you prefer. Before free agency, after free agency, before rookie draft, or after rookie draft.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. So if you want in one of these Dynasty leagues and you want to wait, head over to Gandalf. We got 3 spots open. We got the Goku, which is right now the Derby's underway. Ketchum and Cloud are about to fill, and then the Dragonborn is filling. We moved some of the players from Gandalf over to Dragonborn because that one's going to fire up right away. So if you're a sicko and you want to draft immediately, you can go to all those other leagues except for Gandalf. The other 6 leagues will probably open up within the next week. So definitely, if you're familiar with using the sleeper hubs, we are trying to move away from that and transition over to our website. So definitely pop in daily to our website if you're interested in a league, whether it's Dynasty, mini leagues, and eventually the redrafts and our triathlon league, along with the big game, will all be shifted over to our beautiful website that our president puts together for us.
Alejandro Hernandez.
So we got big things. Like I said, website's looking beautiful. And if you don't know how to get there, look at the bottom on the ticker, theballsvillegame.com. I'll take you right to it. So hit us up. And the traffic has been tremendous. We're getting tons of traffic on there. So very, very happy. We have a chat box in there. Eventually you're going to be able to pay on there. It's going to be tremendous. It's going to be an awesome website. You guys will love it. So below me in that hideous red is Zubikis, and he's going to go over our mini games, which, believe it or not, you are going to be able to draft a mini game while you're watching the Super Bowl. So Zubes, get right into it.
All right. So if you don't know, the mini leagues, they kick off right around Super Bowl, either during or right after. I love the mini leagues. It's best ball. So it's just draft or forget, which, we're all familiar with that from the big game, but this is really, really early. So, we were kind of talking about earlier where, you don't like a lot of luck. This is where there is a lot of luck because you're taking flyers on maybe some rookies that are coming out, but you don't know where they're going to land. I did that last year in a couple of them where I was like, I wasn't sure. So I took a flyer on like Troy Franklin, just in case, you never know. Took a couple flyers on Malik Neighbors, so it's really kind of shooting your shot on some of those guys and then, drafting your vets and trying to figure it out. But it's really early. This is the time where I do like drafting early with these mini leagues because it's fun. There's a lot more luck involved with this. It's not so much, the knowledge and the skills and stuff like that.
Off the top of your head, dude, do you have a memory of a guy that you targeted last season in the minis that was kind of an under the radar guy that you just had a feeling about that turned out to be a good pick for you?
It was Malik Neighbors. Yeah, I took him a couple times, and I only
Where
won
was he going in the minis at that point?
He was going somewhere in like the third or fourth round, and I think by the time we were doing the big game, he had kind of jumped up a little bit. So up until like the second round. So yeah, he was going a little late. Everybody was on Marvin really early on, that early. Everybody was on Marvin Harrison, and so he was going real early. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Neighbors, if that situation would have been swapped, if Harrison would have been on the Cardinals and Neighbors, if Harrison would have been the Giants and Neighbors would have been on the Cardinals, I think it would have been a swap. I think Neighbors was the first receiver off the board.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but yes, is there a guy that you drafted like at the bottom where you're like, you know what, I don't know about this guy, but I'm just gonna take him because he's at the end of the draft.
Oh,
that panned out.
I think it was Mooney. I think it was Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, he's a good.
Who was hot for a good portion of the early part of the season.
Mooney was a good one too, man. He was guy that people were just overlooking like crazy.
Yep. Yeah. He fell off near the back end, but he gets you through those beginning weeks, doing pretty good. So.
Welcome in, Casey Grimm. Casey Grimm's in the chat. Welcome in to the Ballsville podcast.
Yeah, we do pods every Wednesday, buddy.
Yeah, every Wednesday. Now, Zoobs, I want to ask you, what is your strategy for these mini leagues? Like, how are you drafting?
So, because it is still 2 QB, you're always trying to get your one solid QB, and then you're kind of taking a flyer, on one or two others. It was funny because I think I was drafting more running backs with these mini leagues because this early on, you feel like you have to really, you got to kind of attack, I would say, that position because if something happens there, you're done, and this early on, you have really no idea what's going to happen there. So
that's an interesting point too this year with all these rookie running backs coming out that are supposed to be, starting caliber running backs. What is that position going to be the same approach this season as it was last season?
I think there's going to be a lot more of those guys going off the board earlier. for sure in these mini leagues. Yeah. Because there's I mean, I've heard a couple of analysts, already say there's about 20 to 22 running backs who are like NFL ready already, which is that's a huge influx of running backs right there. So, and compared to last year's
position that we had, 8, 9 guys last year that we
Yeah.
were pretty happy with, and the rest of them were like considered a flyer.
Yep, compared to last year's draft cast, which was pretty sparse. And I mean, besides Bucky Irving and Tyrone Tracy, were you happy with any of them? I know I wasn't. I had a couple of them languishing on a couple of my best ball, best ball teams down at the bottom, just doing nothing. Marshawn Lloyd and Trey Benson, and some of these guys that people were kind of high on that just didn't.
We won't even talk about poor Jonathan Brooks right now. Or he beat that dead horse.
Yeah.
Now, Sean, what is your in these mini leagues? What is your ideal roster construction? Like, how are you attacking the mini leagues?
If I'm like drafting it right now, I'd probably go QB, RB, and then either RB/QB, depending on how the draft falls. And then, look at the wide receiver, probably starting around 4 to 5, and then go, back and forth in that aspect. Definitely attack quarterbacks in the top 4 rounds, probably. Get at least 2 solid guys early.
What about you, Sarah?
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry. I was answering a question on the league.
Trying to figure out, because I have a different spin on attacking like these best ball mini leagues. So I have a little bit of spin. So like, how are you attacking your roster construction?
Okay, so when it's 2 QBs, right? And it's 2 RBs and 3 wide receivers, your kind of basic setup.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always gonna go for like, at least 1 strong QB right away and 1 strong wide receiver, and then another QB, and then look at the best RB I can get, like probably in the third or fourth, depending on, what I end up doing with the QB situation. But it also depends on what everyone else is doing. But yeah, I'm always going to shoot for my better quarterbacks no matter what, even in the best balls. And then I'm going to take more extra quarterbacks in a best ball than I am in a dynasty, since, we can't trade or whatever. So I'm focusing a lot on those. And then I'm focusing on a middle round where I'm picking like quite a few like RBs, like younger RBs, middle grade RBs, and just kind of getting stacks.
Okay.
Stacks are very important in this. I mean, we know stacks are pretty important in best balls anyway, but yeah, these mini leagues for sure.
Best ball is the in and out version of fantasy football.
Yeah, in these mini leagues, this is where you're definitely trying to cash in on those stacks big time. And then yeah, the other thing I think Sarah said, which is important, is attacking those onesie positions. So, if you get like one really good tight end and then maybe fill in with a couple of guys who, you think, or just fill in. Like, I found a lot of my mini leagues had like 5 or 6 tight ends, which is kind of weird for me, for best ball. But again, you don't know what's going to happen, over the course of the year. So, and it's so early.
Yeah, no, Sarah kind of hit on the head. I try to attack it in obviously stacking and target elite offenses. So, obviously I'm not going to like go out of my way to be like, oh, I got, Jane Daniels. I got to find a way to get Terry McLaurin. I mean, I'm not going to like go out of my way to do that. But I mean, I may in the later rounds, go after like a De'Ami Brown or maybe a Zach Ertz or something like that, just to make sure I kind of correlate that offense. I know last year it didn't work for some of my, because I had a lot of Dak and CD that, that didn't work out. I had a lot of Tua and Tyreek, that didn't really work out. So, I mean, sometimes it's almost like the, Sarah, what do you guys call auctions? Like scars and scrubs approach?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Studs and duds.
I'm either all in on this offense. So it's either I'm going to blow up or I'm either going to be in first or I'm going to be in last. Yeah, it's like I'm never going to be in the middle. So, I just try to attack like 3 offenses and try to stack it up from there, and then run from there. So, but yeah. So if you're interested in mini leagues, start looking for it. I'd say Friday. Start going to the website and start looking, and then you can do take care of everything from there. So it should be pretty exciting. They're fun because they're just best ball. You're just drafting, and it's fun to see how they turn out at the end of the year. So
And also, while we've got 10 people watching, please follow us on all the social medias that you use, X, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, of course. But yeah, we are going to be posting and promoting a lot on there too, so you'll know when things are coming out. So here's a little banner for you, but that's the same name on every social media.
Yep, like and subscribe, and it really helps us out a lot. We get a lot of traffic, so we're just trying to build our brand, and we have a great community of players, and we're just trying to build from there. So thank you all for your support. I'm going to move over to Sean. We didn't get to it last week, but our very creative, when Sean and Alex created the playoff format for Ballsville. So we're in Super Bowl week. And how many players do we have left, Sean?
Well, we had 11 going into this week before the cut down after hole 3. So we're looking at hole 3's breakdown because last week we didn't have the opportunity to do it prior to the pod. Since we had 2 weeks between games, we really didn't go crazy on trying to get everything done ahead of time. So we got everything finalized though for that week. So we'll start by going over hole 3 results. So made myself this nice, pretty little sheet. Well, as
Very
pretty
nice.
as I can do.
Very nice.
So as you guys can see, I'm not going to go over the game scores because I'm just not. So as you can tell, you know who won, who lost, and the way that it broke down with the stroke counts, what ended up happening, guys, to give everybody a little bit of a breakdown on how it worked out. With the Commanders getting their butts kicked so damn much, it literally shot our scores through the roof. So starting next season, we're going to have an adjustment that we're going over with the group of guys that did this to fine tune so that we don't have an issue with this next year. But definitely changed up the scoring dramatically based on that ridiculous outcome. So, but as you can see here, you got all the points that everybody had scored throughout the week. This was their previous scores going in. So look, everybody was under par, and it literally ended up with only 3 guys left that were under par. So we talked about how this was supposed to be the hardest hole. Didn't want it to be that hard, but it definitely turned out to be the case. So we had a lot of fun doing it, but this is where we ended up. So as you can see, we got Phil 3988 sitting at the top spot, still sitting at 8 under. Jojo right behind him at 5 under, and then I hate saying this, C-Bomb 18 at 1 under, right?
Right when he gets here, just on time.
I mean, really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That was my shirt.
Oh yeah.
That was my shirt, Zubakist.
Mm-hmm. I am right. I'm with you, brother.
We'll welcome in C-Bomb. He's a little late, but he's our 2024 Player of the Year. C-Bomb, welcome in. All right, carry on, Sean.
Oh, thank God we can stop talking about him. All right, so as you can tell, those are the 3 that moved on to hole 4. So let's go ahead and go over the breakdown of what's going to happen for hole 4, guys. So the final 3 are going to compete in what we like to call I Love TDs and Twins. So basically what's going on here, guys, is they're going to pick 3 different players, any running back, wide receiver, or tight end of their choosing between the 2 teams that are playing. And the name of the game is touchdowns. So they're going to get a total of, certain amount of negative strokes based on the touchdowns. And the longer the touchdown, the better off they are, right? So from a 0 to 25-yard touchdown, they're going to get a -1 stroke. A 26 to 50-yard touchdown is going to be -2 strokes. Anything 50 yards or more is going to be -3 strokes. So the kicker where the Twins come to play is if a player scores more than 1 touchdown of a certain length. So if they score 2 or 3 26 to 50-yard touchdowns, the per touchdown is going to be multiplied by the amount of touchdowns they score. So an example would be, which I did the math wrong for you guys in the beginning, but this is going to be a clarification for you guys on what I was going after. Basically, if you've got Saquon, right, we're going to use him because he scored the most touchdowns this year. Saquon scores 4 touchdowns in this game, right? Because I obviously don't want the Chiefs to win. So and say 3 of those touchdowns are between 26 and 50 yards long. So each of those touchdowns are going to be multiplied by 3. So instead of -2, they will receive -6. And since he did it 3 times, his total will be -18 strokes for those 3 touchdowns. And then he gets one more touchdown that's only, anywhere between 0 to 25 yards. That's going to be another stroke off. So his total strokes for that game would be -19 strokes on your score. So that's the way it's meant to be, guys. So basically what you're looking for out of this hole is big touchdowns and a lot of them. So good luck to the 3 of you guys that are in this. I hope it breaks down well and it turns out to be a really close, fun final with you guys. I don't think that there'll be any way you guys want to get together on the same score count, so we'll do tiebreak. But if that happens, we'll figure out something to do for that next season, and maybe we'll just award all 3 of them. Who knows?
All right. That's a good breakdown. Want to say hi to Fran in the chat. Yes, Fran. Stroke. So, great breakdown there, Sklem. We are going to move on now, since we have him in the house. We're going to go over Connor's. It's going to be called the Ballsville Handbook, Volume 1, Mastering Dynasty. So Connor put this together. He's a tremendous journalist, very professional for someone who's not in this field. Really spent a lot of time on it. And like I said, being volume 1, that just tells you that there's going to be multiple volumes going forward, different subjects. I'm sure there'll be some rookies, some redraft talk, maybe some best ball. So I'm going to hand it over to Connor, and Connor, go ahead and give the people what they want.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I wanted to get into this draft that's going on right now. I think y'all talked about it a little bit earlier, but Alex wanted me to highlight this. We are live drafting right now. This is the first draft that we'll do for the startups that we started. I think there's going to be 16 dynasty leads in the Heroes division. So we'll see. Stop laughing at me, Sean. Making me nervous. No, but there'll be 16. So
come on. You're the 2024 player of the year. You can't let me make you nervous.
No, I'm not nervous at all. But there's this is the live draft that's going on right now. As you can see, we got some players on here that's been on here before. Myself, John Ledge, Ethan Blinka, Short Stack, Jimbo's Bimbos, C Sims, all these guys. I think there's a couple new ones in this league as well. So
how come Jimbo didn't take a tight end first round?
I think he's going in the next round and in third. So we'll see what he got.
We'll see if he sticks to his guns and takes McBride over Bowers.
Yeah, we'll see.
Right?
Yeah, this one's real this time. So as we had on the last podcast, we had a mock draft, but this one's a real one. $25 a year. I think they're all full now, or there might be 1 or 2 spots left in a couple of them. They're filling fast. So get in these while you can. Let me stop sharing that.
Scott, do you have the amount of openings that are available? Did you have that written down on how many of the teams were available still? Like what leagues had openings?
We had some movement. I know in Gandalf, which we're not going to draft until after free agency, which is March 12th, there's 3 openings in that one. There might be a couple more openings in the other ones. You'll have to go to the website to see the updated count.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, so you'll have to go there to check it out. Got to have you guys do a little bit of work.
Perfect placement there.
Look how beautiful that book is. Look at that. Look how nice it is.
Sweet. Yeah, I can't see myself when I'm going through this, but so I just wanted to go through this a little bit. This will be posted on the website as soon as tomorrow. I'll also be posting it in Discord.
You've got something on your nose, Connor. Just kidding.
What is
You're a jerk.
This is just a book about this is the first edition of this, the first volume of this. It's called Mastering Dynasty. So as you'll see, here's some of the things you'll see in this, the about page, just a simple version of what's included. You got buy, sell, hold, some players on the move. You got players in an expanded role, players we hope, players we're holding out hope for, rookie talk, and then a bunch of different rookie things, deep sleepers, stuff like that. Here's the about the book. You can read that in your own time. I'm not going to go through that, but there are some things I'd like to highlight right here. Players we're buying. We'll go through T. Higgins just right quick. He's one of the ones that I think a bunch of us were buying, so he's highlighted here. So I have like a little why we're buying him. His stats in 2024. He could be on the move type thing, and then a keep cut trade or market value type thing. He was right now he's valued at wide receiver 15, but a lot of us see him in the top 10 of wide receivers. So that's one of the reasons why most of us are buying him. And then the risk, he hasn't played very many games, or he's played a lot of games, but he's missed a lot of games as well. He's never really been a wide receiver one anywhere. He's always been behind, Jamar Chase. And then I just had a little, draft comp right here of what I think if you're, you're buying him for, what you should be buying him for around the 104. If you can get him for the 105, I'd do that as well. And I do that for all these players, Bucky Irving, CJ Stroud. Those are our buys that I highlighted. And then we do sells again, the same thing. There's a whole list of sells we got here. Anthony Richardson, we got Tyrone Tracy, we got Saquon Barkley, and then we got holds, which are, basically you don't want to go out there and buy them, but you also want them on your team because they don't produce fantasy points. So we got like Mike Evans, you got Derrick Henry, and then you got Brock Purdy, and every single one will have the reason why and the risk of if you actually do that. And then we got most exciting players on the move. A bunch of these guys, are likely on the move. Cooper Kupp, the Rams basically already announced they're going to trade him. T. Higgins, it's looking like he's out of Cincinnati. Can't really afford him. They might be able to afford him, but we'll see. Godwin looks like
they can afford him, but they don't want to.
Yeah, exactly. So, Debo, there's some discussions that he's not going to be on the 49ers next year. Kirk Cousins got benched. He's, Sam Darnold, all these have reasons. So I highlighted Cooper Kupp. I only highlighted one of these guys, for each of these next few categories. And then McMillan, like I said, Godwin's out of the equation, or it's looking like he will. So there's reasons why. Players still holding out hope for. And you're not going to agree with all these takes, but there is the why for Kyle Pitts, and there is the risk. So even if you don't agree, you're probably down here with he's too risky to still buy or whatever.
You would dare not agree with the player of the year for 2024.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, that's another thing. I didn't put this all together. I want to say thanks to Zubikis, to Scott, to Grizz Tony, to Jay Morris. Who else? Ken, the dealer's back, and then Z Dubs. They all gave me information. Well, Zubikis really didn't give me. I didn't ask him the questions, but he did, look over the book and stuff, and proofread it like that. And so that helped a lot. I give thanks into him in the book as well. And you can download this as a PDF like it is right now, and use it in your fantasy drafts and your rookie drafts and your startups and, anything like that. But I will be doing a giveaway for anybody that downloads it. I'll have, if you screenshot it, that you downloaded it and you post it in the Discord, I'll have like a little thread in there. If you post it in there and you show you download it, I'll give you a free best ball entry, maybe more depending on how many people actually download it. So
did you put it on the website or only in Discord?
So the link for your screenshot will be on the Discord to submit, but the link to the actual book will be both on the Discord and on the website. I think it's going to be front page. It'll be at the top, so it should be easy. Not
you have to download it through the website though, not Discord.
Yeah. You should download it through the website, but it's easier just to promote it. There's not a lot of people that want to go look everywhere for stuff, but this eventually will be behind the paywall. I think the first two versions, the first two volumes will be free. It'll be this one, and then I'm thinking doing a rookie one, either right before the NFL draft or during the NFL draft, sometime around there. There'll be a rookie one released, volume 2. That one will also be free. and you can download that. Yes, it does come in large print. I think Scott was asking that too the other day. So there's a little hint of that in the book as well.
Scott and Jimbo are like
That's actually pretty funny that he says that, knowing what's in the book. So yeah, you can print it out just like you want. Like as soon as you download it, it'll give you the option to print, and so you can look at it. You can
wait, what is printing it out? What does that mean?
Large, yeah. No, well,
Pretty sure that our audience knows.
Yeah,
Wait, you mean like on paper?
Yep.
I'm glad it'll be in large print because I don't have to use my readers anymore when I'm reading stuff. So, but no, I actually, I mean, this is great information. You guys are gonna love this handbook. I was excited to read it. I want to run over one. There was one guy in particular that I want to get your take on. I know, so it's maybe a little sneak peek on into Connor's brain here. So I saw Anthony.
It's really empty in here.
I saw Anthony Richardson as a sell, and obviously anyone that drafted him, they spent a ton of capital on him, maybe holding out hope. I mean, if you're selling him, I mean, what do you really? I mean, what would you take really for him? Obviously you probably drafted him. What did he go in Dynasty Startup last year? Was it like second round maybe?
Yeah, he was going first.
So
I'm in the first. So I mean, what would you take for this guy?
Well, it depends. Like I have it right here, the rookie draft comp. If I'm selling him, I want to get a late first in the rookie draft, a 111, 112. If you're looking for a player, I mean, I probably couldn't give one off the top of my head for a player. It depends on what you're looking for. Like,
I mean, you'd have to get a quarterback in return. I mean, if you're selling a quarterback,
that's what I was going to say. So what if you're looking to upgrade the quarterback and use him as bait for it? So like, say, what would you need to add to him to get a Drake May?
Oh, a lot for Drake May. I was thinking more
or maybe Bo Nix. Then what about Bo Nix?
What would you have to add to him? Probably at least a first, probably a mid first or so for Bo Nix. I was thinking more like if you wanted to try to upgrade to like right around his range, like a Bryce Young or somebody like that, or a Trevor Lawrence. A lot of guys still have hope for Anthony Richardson. So you might be able to get one of these guys. I know JoJo, I think it was JoJo, was huge on him last year. I don't know what his thoughts are on him this year, but if you can find the right buyer, they'll give you a mid first.
JoJo, I think he's disappeared because he doesn't want to tell us all about how he feels now.
Yeah, I don't know. I know he was huge on him, and I mean, he had his reasons. And like I said, there's risk to selling him. He's only 22. He's young. He's inexperienced. He really didn't play many games this year. He didn't play but 3 games last year, and even at Florida when he was there, he had
Doesn't he only have like 25 starts under his belt, like lifetime?
Yeah, exactly.
Like all the way back to like high school and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
I was big on him last year. I still have hope for him, but as someone that has hope for him, I would hope to buy him low. You know what I mean? I wouldn't pay up because I have hope for him. I would try to buy low because I know other people are trying to get rid of him. But I'm one of those people, but I definitely wouldn't pay high.
Yep.
So you wouldn't give the 111 or 112 for him?
I might give the 111 or 112. Maybe if I really needed a quarterback.
See?
But yeah, I don't think that's a bad deal. I don't think that's a bad deal.
I think I'd give up the 111 or 112 for him. I mean, I would do that. I mean,
in this draft with no quarterbacks, it's not.
Yeah, I would.
You know what I mean? Like if you don't need the quarterback,
right? Like you said. But yeah, I think that's a fair trade.
Yeah, and so that's what I have, there as his rookie comp, the 111, 112.
Yeah.
That's what you should be selling him for at least. I wouldn't try to get too much lower than that, 201. You might hold him 201, you might sell him too. I mean, it's not that big of a difference, but no mid seconds or anything like that. I wouldn't be selling him for too much lower than, that late first, early second. But yeah, he still had he's right now in keep cut trade. He's QB 23. So he's all the way down the board below some of these guys I'm talking about that, Bryce Young, he took a huge dip in the middle of the season and he's, I think QB 15 or something right now in the market. So you could try to get one of these guys that, you believe in more to get like that. And I mean, I think Anthony Richardson, It could turn out huge for you. But like I have the why we're selling him. He got benched for 40-year-old Joe Flacco when he was going, and he's a first-round pick the year before.
Where do you have him compared to like a Kyler Murray?
I
kind of feel the same way about Murray. I feel like I'm almost over it at this point with that guy.
Yeah, I mean, Kyler Murray's still probably like top 12, top 14. So, I mean, he's pretty far down. Yeah, I think I'm just talking about my value-wise, keep cut trade type evaluations, market value. So, I think Murray's still up there. And he's he's down there, or he's up there in the mock draft we did. So, just looking at that as well. His wide receiver core as well has been, pretty bad. And Michael Pittman and Downs both struggled with drops. So did Adonai Mitchell. So we'll see what he can do. There's always risk. Like I said, he had, huge games last year. I have it on here. He had 30, 2 or 3 30-point performances. He's a huge rushing upside. His athletic ability is probably one of the best in the NFL besides, Lamar and Jaden Daniels, or, he might even be better than those just pure rushers. But, there's always risk in why to all these reasons. And I think that's a good one to point out, Scott, because that's an answer I got a couple times. Most of these that I highlight are answers I got a couple times from multiple different players.
He's going to be a tight end in 2 years.
He's not 10.
The only reason why I brought him up was I'm almost thinking if you're a quarterback whisperer like myself, he's almost like a buy because you can get him for pretty cheap. And like I said, he's only 22 years old. I mean, even if I got him for a 201 or 112 and he busts it, I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yep, I agree. And then I also just, basing off just because we are buying or selling a player doesn't mean you must. Like exactly what you said. You might do the opposite of what we're doing. You might, see Anthony Richardson. Oh, they're selling him. I'm huge on Anthony Richardson. Let me go buy him low, kind of like what Sarah said as well. Like, we're selling him. A couple people are selling him. You try to go find those owners and be like, yeah, I'm buying Anthony Richardson. Let me go. So it should be a give and take on each of these guys. Like, I think there's one I, pretty heavily disagree with on here. I don't think he's actually a sell, but he's a name I got, like, I think 2 or 3 out of the 6 players I asked.
Who is it? Who is it?
Should I say his name or?
Yeah, go ahead. Give him another treat.
I think Bucky Irving. I don't think he's a buy. I think his value is way too high right now. But I mean, I just disagree. I mean, I've seen him traded for Breece Hall straight up. I think that's just ridiculous.
That's crazy.
That's great.
But I mean, there's some people that have him in his rankings way above Breece Hall. But there's, like I said,
speaking of Breece Hall, did you see the mock where like the guy took Gentry for the Jets?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm like,
it's just
what
ridiculous.
are they talking about?
Hey, look, not to get into basketball, but Luka Doncic just got traded. If anybody cares about basketball, but
that was unbelievable.
I care because Golden State Warriors just traded a whole bunch for Jimmy Butler like an hour ago, so that just happened.
But it's like, why did they make a move for Doncic? I mean, he's like a perfect Golden State Warrior player. Like he fits that mold like 100%.
No, the Doncic trade was just stupid. We can't even get into that, but that was just dumb.
Yeah, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about that. Maybe we'll have a Ballsville.
We'll have to do a basketball.
Ballsville basketball podcast next. But
I think what we can all agree is that this book looks absolutely fantastic.
Yes, it looks
really
great.
Appreciate all this.
I mean, tremendous amount of work that you put into this.
It's the type of work that we expect from the 2024 Player of the Year.
Yeah, and I've not to swell his head any more than
win big, get to work.
Than it is, but
careful, he's barely fitting in the frame already, so we have to get a new webcam.
Connor's a young creative mind in this industry, and I like to pick his brain. And I've been playing a long time, and I like to pick his brain. I like new perspectives on different players and stuff. So definitely give this a read. It's going to be really good. And like you said, if you like it, eventually it'll be behind the paywall, but it'll be totally worth it. So I want to welcome in Bennett Musselman. Anybody know Bennett Musselman? Is that any of your people, Sarah? Anybody?
It might be, but I don't know what their Facebook name is.
Well, welcome in,
excuse
Bennett.
me, their
He's the
YouTube
one
name
that-
is.
He's the one that said he sold AR for a 26 first. So
Oh,
what do you think about that, Connor?
Sorry.
I said what this guy Bennett said in the chat that he sold AR for a 26 first.
Yeah, I mean, depends on where it is, but I'd probably do that as well if I'm selling.
You won't know where it is yet if it's 26, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look who's in there. Cheeky Hobson.
But- One thing I'm doing is I'm trying to get 27 first, 2027 first round picks. That class is just looking stellar. So 26 is just looking.
Is that the Manning draft, 2027?
No, Manning's going to be 2026.
He could be 26. You know, it depends on how he plays at Texas this year. But
He'll be coming.
but
he's got to check with his dad first.
that's
I think it's going to depend on who gets the first pick. They're just going to wait and see. Like, if it's going to be some team they don't want to play for, I'll play another year at Texas.
it's his uncle's, not his dad, but we'll see.
Oh, it's his uncle?
Isn't that Cooper's kid?
Yeah, it's Cooper's kid.
Oh,
So
really? I didn't know that.
yeah. So, but that's Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams. That's the two names you want to look at.
Oh, yeah. Ryan Williams.
So, those guys. But hopefully, another thing, just to point out this book just one more time. Hopefully, it doesn't read like my bias. Like I said, I'm selling Bucky Irving, but hopefully, it doesn't read like, you know, the writer, you know, has this bias against Bucky Irving or whatever. Hopefully, it
Well, that's
reads.
exactly how it reads.
So, but yeah, hopefully, it doesn't do that. Hopefully, Sean actually doesn't actually think that, but hopefully, it reads like, you know, it has both a clear cut Y and a clear cut risk for both. So,
Oh, okay.
It's
All
a
right.
wonderful thing, Connor. Don't let me hate on it.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's a great book. So awesome read. Can't wait for the next one. Hopefully the next one will be. Hopefully the next one might be rookies. What do you think? It'll be gonna work on rookies, Connor. Is that next?
yeah, rookies is next, and there is some rookies in that. Like I said, there is a part. The bottom section is rookies. There's, you know, who we think Superflex 101 will be.
Are you going to do any kind of a rookie mock, you know, draft order kind of a thing? The ADP?
So what I'll probably do for the next volume is just my top 48 rookies, and I'll probably list them. I probably won't get too much, you know, input from other people on that one. I might ask a few, like if I have some stragglers or whatever, but I'll probably do my top 48, and maybe a couple other people. And I'll just, you know, do a consensus type thing, because 48 people exactly is a little hard, but I want to make it to where it's just our rookie draft, where, you know, we're 4 rounds with 12 picks around. So that'll be 48. And so who I think should go there, I'll do something like that for my next one. And then maybe we'll do a mock after that or something like that.
It'll be nice when the Super Bowl's finally over.
Yeah, that'll be, if you guys are wondering, top 48. That's first 4 rounds in a rookie draft. So use that as your cheat sheet. That'll help you out a lot. Artful Dodger, he's in the chat. Welcome in, Art. I'm at a few dinos outside of Ballsville with Art. Welcome on in. Okay, let's get to what everyone wants to talk about, and that's the big game.
Mhm.
But real quick, before we get into the big game, I want to go around the horn. I am going to have Ken over with his crush on Sunday. I've never met her before.
Wait, it's not his actual girlfriend? He's
Are
like,
you going to answer the door shirtless with a shotgun?
get
while
her
you're
to be a
doing it?
girlfriend.
Like,
No, I don't know. I always wondered about him sometimes because I never really saw her. So, anyways, we will be.
what if her name is George?
He will be cashing in on the pub sub I owe him. So maybe we'll do a little short video on Sunday of him scarfing it down in front of my face.
Where's the golden locks and the TJ Hawkins?
Yeah, the horns,
jersey?
dude.
There will never be
Wait,
hair.
what did you say?
There will never be hair on this head anymore. So so I'll go to Connor. Connor, what are you eating on Sunday?
I actually work on Sunday. So I work at a movie theater. I don't know if anybody knows that. I'm the event manager there. And so somebody's renting out our theater to watch the Super Bowl. So I'll be working, but I'll actually be watching it on the big screen. So
Oh, so you'll be
That's right.
Okay, you're gonna get paid to watch it.
yeah, I get paid to watch it.
Hopefully, this will be the last year that we all aren't getting paid to be there.
So, all right then. Well, then, if you're going to be eating movie theater food, I'll go right over to Sarah. Sarah, what are you eating on Sunday?
Yeah, I am actually really frustrated. I have a class that runs right at the beginning for 1 hour, so I'm going to record it and I'm gonna watch it an
Record it.
hour
What is
behind.
this?
I know. I have to watch it an hour behind because otherwise I don't want to miss anything, and not even the commercials. So I'm going to try not to look at my phone and get any spoilers. My household here is plant-based, so we're going to have all sorts of snacks and
Wait, you don't eat meat at all?
no, not at all.
Are you gonna have
You
lentil?
told us that.
Are you
We
gonna have
didn't know
lentil
that.
soup?
Oh man, they make such good food nowadays. Oh, seriously, like all these places. I don't even want to get into it. I don't want to get into it, but yes,
Don't judge
I'm
it.
like
I just
there's,
Ballsville vegan podcast.
there's seriously some really good fake meats out there, and like so we're gonna be eating all sorts of things like cauliflower wings and chips and dips and veggies and fruits and all sorts of stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to Sean.
And
Sean, will you
alcohol.
please let the audience know what real Super Bowl food is?
He's not gonna be watching.
Oh, I'm just gonna be eating Jameson and soda.
Wait, what about Mary Jane?
Oh yeah. Multiple amounts of Mary Jane.
All right.
Yeah, no, I don't know, man. I don't even know what I'm gonna do, dude. Like I was supposed to be in New Orleans, bro. I never had a plan. Now I'm just kind of like, I don't know, I'm like
Just put it
bag
on
in
the
the wind,
TV.
like American Beauty, just floating around.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, let's get to the game then.
Now, what are you eating, Scott?
I told you I'm meeting. I got a cash. I have to pay for a pub sub.
You're gonna eat the pub sub on Super Bowl Sunday?
No, that's what Ken's eating. What are you eating?
I'm getting a pub sub too.
He has to eat his
guys
Vikings
will eat
stuff,
together.
though.
Pub sub and some barbecue chips.
Okay.
I love barbecue chips.
Okay, here, my fiance and her family. She's making wings and celery and carrots and jalapenos, stuffed jalapenos and stuff like that. So
Oh yeah, with the cream cheese.
Now
wrapped in
that's some
bacon.
basic.
Oh, yeah,
that
that's
is
way to do
your
it.
Yep.
that is your
A lot of people.
traditional.
That the
Yeah.
jalapeno poppers. A lot of people. do
Yep.
that.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's nothing like a
Good jalapeno
jalapeno popper. If you got the right cream cheese and bacon wrap on that bad boy, cook it properly, can't beat it.
I thought you were going to tell me you were going to Roberto's, Sean, since you live there.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. It depends. I'm
Roberto's
definitely
is-
going to be somewhere that they're going to have Jameson, one way or the other.
It's
So-
Sean's Mexican dive that he goes to that they know him by name through drive-through.
It's amazing. 5 days a week, probably. I mean, you can't beat Mexican. It's like the best food there is, man. Like if you had to pick one, it's like either Mexican or Italian. I think are like top dogs, and then from there, everybody else is a notch below.
All right, I want to thank for the good comments in chat from Art. I try to put on a good pod with everybody, and Jay Morris, welcome in. So yeah, we got some lookers in here. So let's get to this game. Before we get to our predictions, I'm going to go around the room real quick and just see what the panel thinks of certain positions and who's winning these positions. So we'll go from the inside out, and I'll go to Sean. I'm going to say who's got the best offensive line going into this game.
Eagles. It's going to be my
Sarah.
answer for everything.
Sarah, defensive line.
Probably KC.
Yep, I like that. Secondary, Connor.
Probably the Chiefs.
Chiefs. Okay.
McDuffie.
I'll take the easy one. I'll take
Running back.
no. I'll take tight end. So obviously, as much as I don't want to say it, it's Travis Swift. So we'll go over to
Mr. Swift.
we'll go over to running backs, Sean.
I mean, come on, Eagles. It's easy.
All right. Wide receivers, Sarah.
Eagles.
All right. This might be a tough one for some people. I think it's a little tougher than what some people might think, but I'll go over to Connor and say quarterback.
Oh, it's Mahomes. I mean, you can't bet against Mahomes in the big game.
God, Hurts has just puts up monster numbers.
Yeah. Hurts is good, but it's Mahomes.
Said better numbers.
Not Josh Allen in there. If it was Josh Allen, I'd say Hurts.
And then I'll just say coaching staff. I think obviously the Chiefs have the coaching staff with Spags and Andy Reid. So all right, let's go around the horn here. Sklem, what is your team score and MVP?
Oh God. Oh yeah. It's gonna be Eagles win by 15 points. MVP Saquon.
You
Got
don't
that
even
down.
believe that after
I
you said
tried that
that. You're
first
laughing
time.
immediately.
I am, but give me it's just by 15. You want to give me like a score?
Okay, I don't know, 24 to 39.
Okay.
Is that 15, right? Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Sarah.
Oh, my turn. Okay. I'm gonna say Philly's gonna win. And only because I want them to. And it's gonna be
Nobody wants to see Ketchman mustard again.
34-27.
34.
MVP.
It's got to be Saquon, right? If they win.
It depends what happens. I'm gonna say Hurts.
All right, Connor. I know what you're taking.
I'm going to go 31-21 Chiefs. And I'm actually going to go I'm going to go MVP Chris Jones.
Wow, a defense.
Oh, okay.
I think he's going to put a wrapping on Saquon. I think that's their only, if they can stop Saquon, they have a pretty good shot at it. So I think
Can I say that I'm really glad that the 2025 season has already started so we can be that much closer to Connor not having player of the year and come up with these ridiculous type of comments just for,
Look, the only way you
nature of
can
it.
player of the year is if you join like 75% of Ballsville's leagues. You gotta have
I think I was, but most of my takes have been right because I'm still in the running in the playoff game and the big game. I won many games. I won everything.
That's because that was all part of 2024, Connor.
Oh, my bad.
That lucky horseshoe is gone.
Isn't the playoff game? It's still 2024. Technically, the playoff game is like that season. So,
All right. I'm going to wrap it up here with
Scott, what you got?
I'm going to say Eagles 31, Chiefs 30, and I think everyone's going to expect Saquon to just go crazy. But I you know what? I'm a big Jalen Hurts fan all the way back from the Alabama days. So I'm going to say Jalen's got the MVP. He's going to have 3 touchdowns. He's going to have 2 on the ground and 1 through the air.
Like it.
You don't have to come very far to get to me, Cheeky. I'm not that far ahead of you, if I am even at all.
All right, so we got a little bit extra time, so let's do something. Do you remember what we used to do at the end of these podcasts a long time ago, Sean? What did we used
give
to
away
do?
free stuff?
What did we call it?
Oh, are you talking about my favorite segment, Scott?
What is your favorite segment, Sean?
Let's get ready to trade talk.
Trade talks. We have trade talks in Dynasty already.
Oh boy.
So these were sent in from Alex, so we didn't have time to screen share them, but I will try to break these down. And it looks like this one, I'm not really sure what league. Oh, Toothless, the Toothless League. That's what it was, Toothless. So we have Zach Wilson, fan 5. He's acquiring A.J. Brown, and he traded with Grizz Tony, who's helped C-Bomb with his booklet over there, Ladd McConkey. So we got A.J. Brown for Ladd McConkey and Dynasty. Connor.
I like AJ Brown for this one. I think it's pretty close, actually. Ladd is, still up and coming. He's done great things. I just think they're going to add more to that offense this next year. And Ladd won't get as much target share. And so I think AJ Brown I think he's 26 or he's going to be 27, I think. So he's still not, that old. And he's been putting up numbers for the last few years. So I'm going to go AJ Brown, but very slightly. But I think it's pretty fair depending on, if this, I'm assuming I think I'm in this league actually.
It's Toothless.
Yeah, I'm in that league. So everybody's chasing me. I won that league. You'll probably hear that if we go through another league again. So, but so I think they're probably all trying to get younger or, trying to maybe, step up their game a little bit. So we'll see. But I like AJ Brown very slightly.
Sarah.
Come on. Okay. To be fair, if I don't care about either team, it's a fair trade. But come on, give me Ladd all day. I'm just thinking here. I'd also like to put a pub sub on the fact that Ladd is his favorite receiver, and he's not going to lose any of his shares. As a matter of fact, he might gain more as he gets older and starts playing with him. I don't think anyone's going to come in and take any of his shares. I mean, QJ already got a lot of TD looks and passes, whether he caught him or not. He still broke into his share a little bit, and I don't think anyone's going to break any more than that. What's already been, because I mean, he's thrown to him even when he's half injured. Like he's just his favorite target. So I think that because of age, despite my bias, because of age, I'm going Ladd all day. I think he's just going to get better and better. And Devontae Smith is a much bigger wide receiver too to worry about.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be taking Ladd's spot at wide receiver 1, but I think
no. But you said we're going to, yeah. I don't think anyone's going to. I don't think
anybody's going to go down. UJ. I mean,
I don't think his share's going to go down. That's all.
Oh,
it doesn't matter who they bring in.
Good job, Clem. All right, Sean, you're up.
I think I'm taking AJ Brown still. I just think he's the more talented receiver, and I know they've had their troubles, but I think that the Chargers are going to draft at number 1, and Ladd will be a solid player, but I don't think he's going to have that type of number 1 receiver draw.
You're wrong.
All right, I'm going to look. Okay, so I'm a big AJ Brown fan. Love AJ Brown. He's not a spring chicken. He's kind of getting up there. He's had knee issues before. He's got Devontae Smith there. They're obviously in a great offense. But if Ladd could be like a 10 target guy every game, and then I'm going to take that side. I don't see Ladd as like a true X. I see him as like an Edelman Welker, a lot of targets, a lot of short throws over the middle, tough catches. So if he can get 10 to 12, anywhere from 8 to 10 targets a game, and I know he's going to get that every game, I'm going to take the Ladd side just because of the youth. And I think if he can be a target hog in that offense, I think over the long haul, I'd rather have him.
He will be, yeah. Hey, you know what? I'm in Elstewing with all of you guys. If any of you, I have AJ Brown, so if anyone wants to give me Ladd, I'll do a straight trade too. Just throwing that out there for anyone watching this Elstewing.
Just throwing it out.
Why didn't you just go look into you as Ladd and call it out by name? I mean, geez.
Just throwing it out there. All right, what's the second trade, Sean? I can't see it.
Second trade we got here is Najee Harris and Drake London in exchange for Bucky Irving and Bryce Young.
Who are the teams?
John Legs is the one receiving Najee and London, and Grizz Tony is getting Irvin and Young.
Okay, Irvin and Young. Okay, what? All right, we'll go to Sean first. What do you think, Sean?
To be honest with you, it's at first glance, I would probably lean towards the London side just because I would think that London is the top player in my opinion, especially with Penix looking like he could be a solid quarterback for him moving forward. So I would probably lean that way, but the combination of Bucky Irving and Bryce Young, the more I glance at it, the more I feel like I probably would go that route. I like the quarterback.
And that was in the Toothless League too. What about you, Sarah?
Yeah, I'm looking at that. I also just see that Zubik has said he's got Ladd, so we'll see if a trade goes through.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean Drake London.
Trade talk. What a way to do our first trade talk.
Right? Trade talk during the trade talk. London is clearly like the big guy in this trade because I mean I like Bucky Irving too. I mean he's definitely looking like he's gonna take over that spot completely, but and then Bryce, he finally started playing well, so this is really fair traded for me because Harris finally started picking up too. So I think it's tough to not take a quarterback side. But if I have enough quarterbacks and I'm solid there, I'm taking London and Harris. But I really like the Bryce Irving side just as much. It's a really good trade.
Okay. What about you, Connor?
I like the London side. I think, like I said before, I think Bucky Irving is a sell, and if you can get a caliber player like London, I think I'm doing that most of the time. I think Najee Harris is probably just a throw in at this point, just to get him another running back back there. Najee Najee could easily, see somewhere else to play. I mean, he might end up with the Cowboys if they don't draft one. There's a couple other places he could end up.
I mean, does anybody really think Gentry's not going to the Cowboys? I know we said that about Brooks last year, but I feel like this time it's even more obvious.
It's still Jerry Jones. I'm sorry, but as much as I think he is, and as much as I want him to, I think you never know with the Cowboys. They were all in last year and went 4 and whatever.
That's the thing with Jerry Jones is he's such a running back lover. Yeah. So why would you stop now all of a sudden, bro? You actually have the opportunity to draft another Zeke. Why would you pass that up?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of places Najee could go and be a little bit more successful.
I don't think he stays in Pittsburgh.
But yeah, I don't think he stays in Pittsburgh either. I think Warren is probably a good buy low a little bit right now. But
are they both on their last year? Are they both going to free agency this year?
I think Warren has one more year. I think didn't he sign a 2-year extension or something? I don't remember. But I can be on that. But yeah, I like the London side just because he's the best player in my opinion by a pretty decent amount. So especially this early in the offseason, getting a 23, 24-year-old wide receiver that looks like he's gonna have a quarterback that he's gonna be with for 10 years or so. That's what I want.
Yeah, God, man.
Now we know why Scott wanted us to go first.
Well, no, it just I love acquiring quarterbacks. I mean, I especially young ones. I mean, and Bryce, he showed that he was improving last year. He's got weapons. Maybe he just had an issue early on. I mean, I actually do kind of like Bucky Irving, probably a little more than Connor does. But I do agree Drake London's a supreme talent with Penix there. But I mean, I can't. I mean, I'm a junkie.
Can't go against your roots.
I got to take the quarterback. I mean,
Scott's over here like Dave Chappelle.
I got to acquire I got to acquire a quarterback. So, if it was somebody other than Najee Harris, I could probably see the London side. But I think Najee Harris has had his best year, and I think it's going to be I think he's going to start going downhill from there. So I'll take the younger back and the quarterback.
All right.
2-2.
Ooh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, we got a Tank Dell, Zach Wilson fan 5, which I'm sure he really wants to change that handle. He's receiving Tank Dell. He's making a trade with our good buddy Love John, and he is getting ETN.
God.
Right?
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. You go first this time, Scott, since you made us all.
I'll go first. I don't like either of these players. I mean, Tank Dell can't stay healthy. ETN, he's basically in a timeshare. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the new coaching staff in Jacksonville, and I'm going to take Travis Etienne, and hopefully they know, because Etienne is a good player, and hopefully they just know who the better back is between Etienne and Tank Bixby, and they play Etienne. So I'm going to go with the new coaching staff in Jacksonville.
That is so surprising to hear you say that you're going for an RB.
He can't stay healthy. Tank Dell cannot stay healthy.
I know. Poor guy. I feel bad
Honestly,
for him.
I'm so concerned about him because he's a speed twitch guy, and that type of knee injury was so brutal that, a guy like him could really, really screw his entire, ability, the talent that makes him who he is, So, yeah, I'm leaning ETN too for that reason. Just because it's more, at least I know I'm getting fantasy points out of ETN. And there's some value in that guy moving forward, where Tank Dell is such a crapshoot. I don't know. I could take it.
What about you, Connor?
I lean the Dell side by.
Figured you would.
It's not that I don't like ETN. It's that I think Dell still has some left. I think that Houston offense really took a hit when he got injured, actually. But
that knee injury was so nasty, bro.
Yeah, but it wasn't as bad as it actually looked. It looked like he, had his femur out of his body.
But that patella tendon is a really nasty injury.
Yeah. So, But Etienne, I mean, he absolutely crapped the bed this year. He got supplanted by Tank Bigsby. We'll see if that stays true with the new coaching staff. I don't think it will. I think Etienne probably gets that rollback, but just how much of a share is it? And then you get a younger Tank Dell in that Houston offense, probably wide receiver 2 when he comes back. So I'll lean Dell by a pretty good amount. I think in startups Dell probably goes 2 rounds or so, a round and a half above Etienne. So.
All right, we'll go to Sarah, and then I got a question for Connor too after this. So go ahead, Sarah.
I just hate this trade all around. Not because it's a bad one or anything, but it's just like I don't even know what to say about it. It's just kind of like, what? It's like, just keep them both. I probably take the Tank Dell side for the same reasons as Connor. I'm just not sure what to expect from Etienne. And I know that Stroud really likes Dell when he's healthy. He loves to throw those bombs to him. So yeah, I would take Dell.
All right, Connor.
I don't agree with 100% though, Sarah, on the just why would they do it? Because the only thing I could say is that I could see Lovejohn having like a really weak running back stable and wanting like at least a body that he knows is going to be able to play. And and Zach Wilson could be really deep at wide receiver and have the position to be able to just keep Tank Dell on IR most likely.
Yeah, I guess I didn't mean why as in like why would you ever trade this guy? I just mean like I just hate like looking at these two guys and thinking like, oh God, is this even what should I do? I mean, I've seen Etienne go for a lot less. That's all I'm saying.
That's true too. Yeah, he might have been able to squeeze a little more out of him than just the ETN. Might have been able to get like a mid pick,
Yeah.
Connor, one question for you.
Yeah.
So, who's the pencil neck on Oregon? Is that Tez?
Tez Johnson, real small guy.
Yeah, isn't he like 140 pounds or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Now everything that we see with Tank Dell, I mean, a guy like Tez, are you staying away from a guy like Tez then in drafts because he's so small?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, Dell had just because of his injuries, maybe so, but I mean, Dell has the talent, and I think Tez. I'm not sure Tez has quite as much talent as Dell, but I think he's up there. But I think because of injury wise, like you're saying, maybe so. I mean, I don't think Tez is going to go first round of drafts. He might go probably mid second, early third or something like that.
When did Dell go? Where was Dell?
Dell was around there as well. I think second round somewhere a couple of years ago now. So, but yeah, I mean, it's not that I'm going to stay away from him too much because of his size. Depends on the value. But yeah, I think it's always something to worry about with guys that small. But I mean, Achane had size worries with him as well, and he's for the most part,
that little guy.
He's for the most part stayed healthy. Dell, I mean, besides this major injury, he's stayed kind of. I mean, he had another injury last year too, so it's always different with receivers too. So yeah, I'll probably lean just a little bit away from him. Maybe take guys around his draft capital, but
or just take them right off your board and take big burly guys like Mike Evans who stay healthy and churn out 1,000-yard seasons every year. So, anyways, do we have another trade in here?
Yeah, we have at least one more.
One more.
Oh, we saved this one for last. All right. So it looks like we got.
Of course, it's Connor's trade. That's why he was so quick to announce that there's one more.
But there's at least one more.
So we have Connor.
Right, and just so you know, he's not following his book here. He's not buying Higgins. He's selling him.
Oh, good catch there, Sarah.
Yeah, for Rashee Rice and Brandon Ayuk. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So looking at this, Connor acquires Rashee Rice and Brandon Ayuk. And looks like Zach Wilson, fan 5, is involved again. He acquires T. Higgins, and I'm assuming that 2026 second round is going to be late. So
is this the same league? Is this the same league, Toothless?
Yeah, this is the lead I won.
So he got T. Higgins in the same league that he just acquired.
Already.
Yes.
So was this? I'm sure this wasn't offered to you. I'm sure you offered this.
Actually, trying to remember.
No way he offered you this?
I think so. Let me go look.
Come on. You and Ken are like You guys are the ultimate shysters, man. I swear to God.
If he offered me this, then I'm not a shyster. What do you mean?
You guys I never get offers like this ever.
Because you always have old quarterbacks and stuff.
Yeah, it's not even worth like analyzing who we think won because
I
it's
don't
pretty
even
obvious.
I don't even like Brandon Ayuk. What I would probably do in this deal is I would take the deal and I would just find a buyer for Ayuk.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So here's what I actually sent him Brandon Ayuk for where'd it go? I sent him Brandon Ayuk and the 2025 110 or I got Brandon Ayuk in the 110 for T. Higgins in the third. And then he switched it, which I'm actually surprised about for Rice in a second.
God.
He countered that.
He could have just kept getting that first from you, and you probably still would have taken it.
I would have got the first and Ayuk, and he would have got T. Higgins.
What if he throws you T. Higgins in a first? Do you take it?
No, I'm not getting T. Higgins.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, if he gave you the offer of T. Higgins in a first instead of the second, would you still take it?
Oh, if I gave him a first?
Yeah.
If I gave him the 110 or something like that, yeah, I'd still do it. Or
So he could have kept that. He could have kept the pick the same and thrown you the offer with that 110 that you offered him in the original offer.
No. You're almost there. You're almost there.
Am I backwards? Did he have the 110?
I was getting Ayuk in the 110 for Higgins in a third.
Got you. Okay. I see what you're saying.
But I didn't have a first. So on any team I'm going to be competing in, I'm not going to have my first. So I don't have any of my first 2025 or 2026. So that's why he had the second there.
What do you think, Sarah?
I mean, I am so annoyed with Brandon Ayuk. I don't even know how much I trust him anymore. But I still like Rashee Rice, Brandon Ayuk side. I think this is another
Rashee Rice tied to Patrick Mahomes. Like, it's unbelievable type of.
This is another really good trade, though. I think. I mean, yeah, maybe he didn't get enough for Rice and Ayuk, but I mean, it's pretty.
Maybe it's Higgins winds up in Buffalo.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I have my take on it. I mean, I don't like Brandon Ayuk at all, but I mean, I get Rashee Rice, and then I can always offload Ayuk to somebody else. You know, maybe find somebody that wants to give me. He's
got to hope to get that diamond in the rough for that 2026 second or this trade.
Well, maybe I can unload Ayuk for an early second. You know, maybe somebody wants, thinks highly of him. Thinks like.
So that would basically be like he could trade Ayuk for like the mid second round in 2025 right now, and that would basically be T. Higgins in the 2026 second for Rashee Rice in the 2025 second.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a fucking steal, I think.
Yeah. So, so that's some early trade talks. I think Alex wrote. Somebody asked about the dynasty leagues, and I think Alex put in the chat, if I can find it, what's available.
Yeah, he said there was a couple more, and there's going to be some more opening up tomorrow. So keep an eye out on the website for the update.
Yeah. If you're interested in dynasty, go to the website. Check for the openings. Like I said, there's 3 openings as far as I know left in Gandalf, but we're not drafting till March 12th, till after free agency. So yeah, you can go to there, and then we'll have 6 more dynasty leagues open up probably next week, and they'll probably be set up the same way, time zones. So look for your time zone if you want to draft in the same time zone as yourself. And then make sure you look and see if the draft's going to be either drafting right away or drafting later.
Hey, Jimbo's Bimbos. I think that's Jimbo. Is that Jimbo's Bimbos?
Yeah.
He had this one trade I just sent in the Discord, Sean. I can pull it up if you need me to, but they had this trade go down, I think today, that they wanted, evaluated. So I just wanted to put that in there. Go over it.
If you've got it, feel free.
Yeah, I can
fill it up. I can do it real quick if you don't.
No, I can get it.
The JSN trade?
Yeah.
I got it.
JSN's on the move.
Yeah.
JSN is on the move along with a superstar.
Give me
Let
just
Sean
about
pull it up
one
right
more
quick.
minute, and I will have it up for you.
Ooh. Oh, CD.
JSN and JSN in the 203 goes to Jimbo's Bimbos in exchange for CD Lamb.
Ooh. I got to think about that one.
I can give my opinion on it.
I think I still take the CD side.
Yeah, I don't think that's enough for him.
I still take the CD side too, but I am high on JSN. I just wish it was a little bit more than the 203, maybe like the 111, 110 range. I
Even
might do
mid?
that.
I think at least.
Mid,
I mean,
yeah, I think
CD
like 105, 106.
CD is a potential like wide receiver one. You know what I'm saying? Like the wide receiver one.
Yeah, but
So
with DK on the way out, possibly, JSN looks like he's going to be in that. Well, I mean, he absolutely demolished Tyler Lockett this year. I mean, and so if if DK's on the way out, I think it's still close. But like I said, I'm on CD Lamb. I think it's close, but if it's not a better pick, I'm taking Lamb by quite a good bit.
Sarah, what do you think?
I mean, like I said, that's not enough for CD. I mean, I was watching CD. I know that things are different. He gets injured. It depends on his quarterback, all that stuff. But it's CD Lamb. I do think JSN is going to be great, but that also depends on his quarterback. So, I mean, you just never know. But I mean, it's CD. He's already proven himself when he's healthy and has his quarterback being solid. So I would say if that was JSN and a first, then it'd be a little more worth it. But just a little too little for me.
What about you, Sean?
I'm in the same boat. I mean, I would want JSN in a first, and I might even want JSN a first, and then a late second or early third too. Like that might not still be enough if it's a late first. So, I think I have that much of a higher opinion of CD. I don't, not to say that JSN won't get there, because I do like him also. I just don't. I can't just sell a guy that's already there for a guy that I think will get there and only get the extra pick of a 203.
Yeah, I love you, Jimbo, but I can't get there. I'm going to be greedy. I want this guy. If this guy's giving me the 203, that must mean he has the 103. So I want the cake with the frosting and the cherry. I want it all. I want JSN. Yeah. I want the 103, and maybe if you're lucky, I'll give you back a second rounder to with CD Lamb.
Third.
I'll give him a second. But I want that 103 because I'm guaranteed I'm going to get either one of the two quarterbacks, or I'm going to get Janty, or if I want one of the wide receivers.
Wait. We're not going to skim over that. You think the three quarterbacks are going to go in the top two? One of the quarterbacks are going top three?
One of the quarterbacks going in the top three? Sanders is.
And Dynasty Superflex draft, do you think he's going in the top three?
Who, Sanders?
Yeah, you can't. Sanders, Ward, Dart.
Oh, Sanders is going in the top three for sure.
I don't think he is.
You don't think he is?
Who's your top three pick then?
Who's your top three pick then?
Right now it's Genty, it's T-Mac, and then it's either Travion Henderson or you got Mbuka, you got Luther Burden. Travis Hunter plays. If Travis
stop you there, buddy.
If Travis Hunter plays offense, I'm taking him over Shador. Dude,
you don't think teams are going to trade up and get a quarterback?
I have no worries about draft capital, but I mean, we've seen the 101 in drafts, slide down the board in rookie drafts. I think I have Shador at my 5 or my 6, and Ward after that.
No, Tennessee doesn't need a quarterback. Okay, I mean, if they do, I guess. I mean, if you still believe.
Yeah, you're talking about draft capital, though. It's that their prospect list is not, I know you do a lot of scouting. You can't tell me that Shador is this guy that you want on any team. He wouldn't be the one. What he's doing behind.
Would he be a higher prospect than Michael Penix was last season?
On most boards, probably, but not on the Falcons board. Depending.
I'm not talking war. There's only really. I still think 2 quarterbacks go in the top 3. I really do. I just think that teams are so needy for quarterbacks Sanders is going
Yeah,
to the top
they're going to
3.
fall in love with at least one of the two, if not both of the two, and somebody's going to move up if they don't take them where they're at.
Move up. They're going to move up.
That's exactly why I'm trading back from all of my picks, because I don't want a quarterback, and I don't want either of these quarterbacks.
No, and if you can trade back, yeah, that's great. Yeah. You know, if you can find somebody that you don't need a quarterback, but I'm just saying that I know we've all done millions of these. You know, we've watched the NFL draft. Quarterbacks are teams need quarterbacks. I mean, whether they hit or not, you could hit and find the next Pat Mahomes, or you could miss and your franchise is set back. So
look at all the guys that took Bo Nix in the early second. Drake May in the late first.
Yeah, but I think May would have been above both of these guys. I think May, Daniels, Caleb, I think McCarthy all would have been above both of these guys. I think.
No, I agree. I agree 100%.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm on board with you, but I'm saying in this draft, there's only 4 quarterbacks maybe that are legit maybe coming out. Teams are going to trade up or they're going to want to acquire a quarterback. Yeah. Teams aren't going to want to just wait around for another year for Arch to come out or whoever else coming out next year. They're going to want to come up and grab one of these quarterbacks. Because
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with the draft capital aspect of it. I think they're going to go 1, 2, or top 10 picks, at least both of them. But I just don't think I'm paying up because of how bad they are. Not how bad, but how average they are at pre-draft recruiting, pre-draft prospect.
Now maybe in the fantasy world, people aren't. Yeah, I'll agree.
That's what I'm talking about. Sorry, I thought we were talking about rookie drafts, not
I thought you were
the
talking
NFL
about
draft.
what the NFL teams.
Yeah. Sorry, no. I think we're talking past each other. Yeah, I'm talking about just specifically Superflex rookie drafts.
Oh, I got you. Okay, all right. Well,
I still think that they're both going to affect each other because when the teams trade up to get one of the top 2 quarterbacks in the top 2 spots, then that quarterback will be taken in the top 2 or 3 spots in the drafts.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, it depends where they go. I mean, if Sanders goes, let's just say the Giants trade up and they take Sanders. I mean, you pair him with Neighbors. I mean,
if that happens, I might be taking Shador top 3 or 5, or above top 5. But if they're going to Las Vegas with no real hope of anybody, or the Titans with no real hope of anybody they're giving the ball to, I just
say Las Vegas signs T. Higgins, or gets T. Higgins on the roster and then drafts him, you're going to take him.
I mean, I'm not sure I'd still take either of them top 3. But Shador, I have above Cam Ward by a pretty significant amount pre-draft, pre-NFL combine. But I think the spot that makes me, I think we were talking about the Giants. I think if either of them land with the Giants, that's the only scenario I can see myself drafting either of them top 3.
Okay, so you're basically saying if Cam Ward gets drafted by the Giants, you're in?
Yeah, more in than I would be if they go Las Vegas, Titans, Browns, any of those teams.
Are you top 3 in?
Ward, maybe not. Shador, yes.
Okay. All right, gang. You heard it here from the guru. He's giving me a mistake on the quarterbacks, but yeah. So thanks again for tuning in to another episode of the Ballsville Podcast. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, go to theballsvillegame.com. If you're looking for dynasty leagues, our mini leagues are starting up soon. Or if you just want to get in there and throw us a chat. We got the chat box in there now, so go in there and say hi. Throw some trades in there, questions, whatever you guys want. And then keep tuning into the podcast. So for my co-host, Clem, for Sarah M21, our producer, and for 2024 Player of the Year and new Ballsville Handbook, Volume 1, Mastering Dynasty. Until next week, folks, we are out.
That's a wrap. Later.